Hey guys, Karen V from Valori Huntress. So tonight's video, or today as when you guys are seeing it, I am doing a video on the Mountain House versus Peak Refuels beef stroganoff. So I just went on a trip to Nevada. If you guys checked out the Instagram, don't forget to go and check it out at Valori Huntress. I told you guys that I was going to go to Nevada. We were going to do buggy riding and shooting. So we went out to Nevada and we did the buggy riding. I got a whole bunch of video from that. We did shooting, which I lost that memory card of the last few days out there in the desert filming, and my taste tester of the Peak Refuels chicken pesto pasta. Since I lost that memory card, I can't find it anywhere, I don't have that video anymore. So I wanted to still do a video about the beef stroganoffs and which one I like better. So with that being said, we're gonna jump into that, and in advance, again, sorry that I lost that memory card. I got a new camera. It's a Canon EOS M50. I'm loving it so far, but this trip was kind of a trial run to see how many memory cards I needed, how many batteries I would need, and just getting used to the camera for my dad's bighorn sheep hunts that we have in November and December. I want to film those for you guys, and also for myself. So let's get into this. Alrighty, so we are back. Everybody, this is my husband, Cody. So we are doing the Peak Refuel beef stroganoff, like I said, versus the Mountain Ops. So first of all, with the Peak Refuel, it only needs 3/4 of a cup of water versus the Mountain House's 2 cups of water. Everything looks like the same for ingredients, like the whole, like the beef, the noodles, the mushrooms, and the cream sauce. For calorie difference, amount per serving of the Peak Refuel is 400 calories versus the Mountain House's per serving is 260 calories.
Get a hell of a lot more throughout the day with this, that's for sure.
Yeah. So that could help with the price. You can get more energy and be fuller and everything with this one and not have to carry out as much water versus this one that I've just always gone with because I never knew about this one before. So now is the fun part. So let's look at it really quick. So it looks like the Mountain House is a lot wetter, I'd say, but it's not like runny. Versus Peak Refuel is extremely dry and, what do you call that?
Not quite as hydrated.
Yeah.
It seems like it soaked everything up pretty well, but
it's just,
we'll see how it tastes.
Looks like it's sticky. Like if you guys have cooked anything weird at all, like I know in my family I've made arancini, which is an Italian dish, which is like risotto and eggs and stuff. You have to mush it together with flour to make these little balls. Kind of reminds me of that, how that's like the stickiness of it. Versus this looks much more like a beef stroganoff. All right, ready, honey? Mm-hmm. Hope to God I don't burn my mouth. It's as good as I remembered.
It's chunky and thick, that's for sure.
Whereas this one's still like a beef stroganoff, more, not really like wet, but it's like creamy.
Seems like the beef is still maybe just a tiny bit dry in the center.
Yeah, this one, nothing tastes dry. The pasta tastes cooked, like not super hard. Like that was one of the problems with when I filmed the pesto one from Peak Refuel. The pasta was so crunchy, which I did not like at all. So I could have let it sit longer maybe, but I did what the time said.
Swap.
Yep.
This definitely seems more like a soup, I guess, just looking at it, and that's a bit more like a gumbo.
There we go. So that one is the Peak Refuel. I see what you mean with the meats being more dry.
Could use a little bit more water maybe in those. Yeah, this definitely tastes more watery though.
Yeah, but I think I still prefer that one because this one you just get so much of the flavor with the sauce. It's just so much thicker, so you taste it all a little too much, in my opinion.
You really sink your teeth into that one. You get a lot of flavor with it.
Yeah, which is good. Like, yeah, I usually want a lot of flavor, but sometimes when you're out there hunting and stuff, or backpacking, whatever you would do outside, just a good hot meal is rewarding enough for taste. So
I can say that it tastes a lot more salt with the Mountain House. That's what it tastes like to me.
I don't know. I still think I'd go with the Mountain House.
Really?
I still think I do.
I think I'm more of a peak man myself.
How did you, okay, since I lost the video for the chicken pesto, do you want to repeat what you said of how you felt about it?
Disappointed.
I'm going to switch back.
Definitely needed more water, probably more time. But yeah, it was pretty underwhelming. Say it's not their best. This is definitely a lot better though.
So
I would much rather have this way out 3 or 4 days in on a hunt than the pesto.
okay. How was that 3-bean chili that you had? That one I cannot have. I would be in the bathroom in a bush for days. So
The 3-bean,
I'm not allowed to have that one.
It was alright. I would say not quite as flavorful as this. Smelling it, it definitely seemed like it would be a lot hotter. For me, I probably could have used a couple of drops of hot sauce in it just to match the smell that it had, but it wasn't too bad. It was, chilly.
How did you feel the next morning with that one?
I'd heard that
Since
people
everybody's
say the
talking
next
to you.
morning is a bit rough, but it was fine for me.
That's always good because you never know how things. That's why I always like to taste things before I'm out in the field in case something doesn't agree with my stomach. Since I have a sensitive stomach, I know what I can take and what I can't take. I was that kid in high school where when everybody went into Walmart to go find snacks, I grabbed one of these. I've ate these for fun just because I've always loved the beef stroganoff. It has always been my number one, and it still wins in my opinion right now.
I will say Mountain House's bacon and eggs, probably about the worst thing I've ever had. It was
Everybody
disgusting.
hates it. Everybody hates it.
Don't do the bacon and eggs. It was nasty.
But I did get the biscuits and gravy to
Yep.
try. So maybe we'll do another one of that one for you guys to see. But we are not putting ourselves through the bacon and eggs another time. That's not happening.
We can
Not
just
at
tell
all.
you from experience now, don't do it.
Just don't. Unless you like loads and loads of salt in
Yeah.
everything.
If you just want
Yeah.
yellow colored salt, go ahead.
Yeah. Like his dad, who put salt on everything, still hates it.
It's one of the only things we couldn't finish.
Pretty much.
We usually try and just work through it, but not that one.
All right. So what did you like about the Peak Refuel?
So I like that the Peak Refuel has more calories in it, because if you're working hard hiking through the hills, you're definitely going to be burning some calories quick. And having a good hearty meal, for me at least, just puts me in a lot better mood. I like being good and fueled and energized, and the amount of calories that you get that through either one serving or the whole thing, a lot better. I also like that it's a bit thicker and not quite as watered down as the Mountain House. It does take a lot less water.
And what do you
Plus for me.
not like about the Peak Refuel? Probably the price.
Yeah, the
It's a couple dollars.
the
more.
price when you're it's only a couple dollars more, but if you're trying to stock up on a bunch of them, it can add up after a little bit.
For me, I'm still sticking with Mountain House. It's still my favorite, sadly to say.
Yeah, it's not to say that Mountain House is bad.
It's so
at all.
great, but and I'll still eat the Peak Refuel. If we get another one, I'll still buy them. I would still like them, but I think I'm probably just more used to the Mountain House, and I've loved the taste for so long that I like it more watery, and I don't like it so like a mac and cheese almost, like how it's just so clumped together and everything.
That's a good way to put it.
And the flavor, I love how much flavor it has in the Peak Refuel, but I still think I like having the more watered down, creamier-ness of it all.
They were both good. Both good
Okay.
choices. Either
Are you
way.
one for one, or did you want to have a point for one versus the other?
Mountain House will gain a point on price, definitely. Peak is going to get a point for calories. Peak will get a point for water, the amount of water that it takes.
For this less.
Does take less water. Flavor is up to yourself. They're both decent.
Probably the Peak Refuel wins in that point for you.
Yeah.
I'm still going with Mountain House though. I
Yeah.
can't help it. I can't. I still prefer it. Hands over. Always and forever.
Mhm.
I can't betray it. It hurts. Alright, so that wraps that up. And remember to like and subscribe, please. And don't forget to go check out the Instagram. I'm posting more photos. Yep, up there. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.